Let's be financially responsible!
Well, hello. If you saw my previous video, you would know that I went to the Colorado Renaissance Fair recently with my husband and my brother-in-law. And if you haven't seen that video, what the heck are you doing here?
Spoilers.
At the end of that video, I threw out the idea that I would do a separate video showing you guys what I bought while I was out in Colorado, both at the fair and also at Fanexpo, since I did pick up a couple little goodies at Fanexpo. So that's where we are today. We are doing a little haul video. I also went to one singular thrift store while I was in Colorado in between activities. So I did pick up a few things and I'll tell you guys all about that experience at that thrift store in due time. And I figured at the end I would also throw in some thrift finds that I found before I went on the trip, because we ran into a thrift store really quick. Just a little quickie little run into a thrift store a few days before we left, and I found some really good things. So it's not enough for its own video, but you know what? Let's just throw that in there. Let's get started, shall we? First off, the first things that I bought at Fanexpo. One fun fact about me, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I grew up playing Neopets. And I don't mean like in the late 2000s, before 2010s when it was like hip and they were owned by Nickelodeon. I mean, I have been playing, at least my brother started playing and then introduced it to me, since 1999 or whenever it was like really, really old. And then I continued to play it into the 2000s. I was committed. I'm pretty sure my Neopets account still exists. I might just log in after this and feed my pets because I feel bad. They still exist. And I know this for a fact because I went up to a booth and I think they're somehow associated with Neopets. There's like a whole thing about a Neopets tabletop game that they're doing a Kickstarter for. But anyways, they had pins and I got some paintbrush pins. And if you know anything about Neopets, paintbrushes are a pain in the butt to acquire, and that is how you change the color of your pet, and you also get like clothes and stuff. Anyway, they're rare and they're hard to get, and there was like a whole economy. Let me see if I can get a good shot of this. Ooh, we got fairy paintbrush, very sought after. I very much wanted that one. We've got royal paintbrush, which I definitely really wanted, and a plushie paintbrush. I believe was one of the most rare or expensive brushes to acquire. However, I do have a plushie colored pet because I managed to score the fountain fairy quest so that I was able to use the rainbow fountain. And of course I chose the plushie color because I really wanted a plushie Kachik. I think that's how you say them. I never was confident that I knew how to say any of the Neopet names. You know, one of the kids who learned words from reading and not from hearing, so like saying things wrong. I also tended to mispronounce a lot of stuff from Final Fantasy, you know, like the 8-bit or 16-bit. Anyway, ramble aside, I also really love to get stickers and art when I'm at conventions, and I definitely held back. There was a lot that I wanted at this convention, and I held back because our main convention is Anime LA or SAC Anime, and I kind of have regrets. I wish I bought more. Actually, one of the artist vendors that I really liked was also a subscriber, so hey, if that's you, I don't know why I gave you a thumbs up. That's really stupid. But back to what I bought. I got this little distinguished gentleman sticker. This is the artist. And I definitely wanted to buy more cat stickers, but I was using self-control. And speaking of stickers, we got, because me and my husband made this decision, a Lord of the Rings Tree of Gondor, the royal tree sticker. I might save this because I don't know if we're gonna like change cars eventually for reasons. So I'm gonna hold on to this for a while. I also want to show you guys some business cards of some artists that I snagged because I love their art, but I didn't end up buying the art. So let me be right back. I'm gonna go grab those real quick before I forget. I'm showing you because like the artist is great, but you can see like a sample of their work on the card. So this is the first one. So pretty. All of this artist's art is like amazing. That is the name, Jenna Barton. And then this is the other one. I do love foxes. And I believe this piece of artwork is called Poppy. And I was like, oh, my dog's name is Poppy. It's perfect. And then I grabbed a business card. I'm like, oh, it's on the business card. I'm pretty sure that's how that's the memory that I have. But here is the artist information, Amelia Leonards. So didn't get a lot of art. I have regrets, but it's fine. There will be more. there will be more cons to buy art from, because that's like my favorite thing, is going to artist alleys. Like, I like the exhibit hall, but the artist alley specific section is where I usually get the most stuff, because like it's the most unique stuff. Now next, this is the last thing I got, but it is the most expensive thing. I got an ocarina. And what specifically drew me into this ocarina booth is they had different ocarinas inspired by different fandoms, and when you buy that specific ocarina, you get a music book of the tunes from that fandom to learn how to play. And you guys want to guess in the comments before you see the results what fandom this is from, if you know me, and then come back. Okay, I'm gonna show you. Lord of the Rings. And if you got it correct, edit your comment and let me know if you got it correct. Songs from Lord of the Rings for C major 12-hole ocarina, and I still don't know how to play this. I have tried, well, I know, but it sounds weird. Let me see, hold on. Concerning Hobbits, it's the very first one I'm trying. Okay, so bottom thumbs. Okay, I got lipstick on it, oops. But yeah, I'm still practicing, and I'm gonna be that annoying person who gets an instrument, and you know, like when you're a kid and you get like a flute or something at a fair, and then you proceed to play it over and over again and try to learn stuff, and then your parents get annoyed with you. Maybe that's just my experience. So that's everything I got at Fanexpo, but let's move on to the Renaissance Fair. And some of these things you guys saw in the video, but I didn't say whether I got it or not. So this is like all of these things. First of all, I got this little hair thingy. So it's like a hair stick and you can like put it on your bun. But the guy also said that if you have a shawl, like a knitted shawl, you can use it to like close your shawl. And where I specifically saw this first is I ran into one of you guys at the entrance. If you remember, you were wearing it on your belt and I was like, where did you get that? And you're like, actually right down there, one of the vendors. It's actually a hair thingy, but I clipped it onto my belt. And I was like, that's brilliant. I want to get one of these. I did get a different color, so I wasn't like copying you, but also this is probably arguably the best color for me, for my hair. So I think I chose correctly for my particular taste, and I'm very excited. And it was $20, which I felt like was a very good price. Maybe I'm burned by inflation, how things are these days. $20 was like, I can rock with that. So I bought that. And then I got these last year. You know, I got to get the slushy, the wine slushies. So I thought I was gonna like the blackberry the best last year, and I ended up liking the raspberry the best with white wine, with like a Moscato. So I got another one. I actually still have some of the blackberry. That's how much I like preferred the raspberry. But I also got a kiwi watermelon because I am a watermelon girly, and I also like kiwi. Maybe not specifically like fresh kiwi. There's a whole story behind that. If I can sum it up really quickly, my dad bought like a whole truckload of kiwis when I was a kid, and he wanted to make sure they all got used and didn't go to waste. So he made the entire family and extended family get together to make kiwi jam. And for days on end, I was peeling kiwis. And so anyway, that's my trauma. But I also got some brownie mix, and I asked the lady, I was like, which one's better? Because there was a bourbon brownie mix, which is the one we got, or a rum. And she said that the bourbon was the best. So girl, I'm holding that to ya. And technically my husband bought this when I was not there, but he called me and he was like, should I buy this? And I was like, should I buy this? Heck yes. Treat yourself.
The best day of the year!
I'm gonna give you guys a closer look. It was in the video, but okay, close my eyes. It likes to focus on my eyes. This is made of leather, and then I think there's like a wood base. This is from, I need my glasses. I can't read it. My eyes are bad. Anyway, I'll put it in the description. But yeah, leather mug, very cool. I'm very happy that he found something that he really loves. I had a mission to pick up these because last year I got the necklace, and then I was like, I need matching earrings. Became one of my favorite necklaces. So I got these little rosebud earrings. Now I have a gripe. In total with tax, these were like $80, which is kind of expensive, but like for small businesses, I make the exception. However, I am extremely sensitive to metals, specifically if it has nickel, but even when things say nickel free, I still can break out. Like when I say I'm sensitive, I mean like I'm probably gonna have a rash from this necklace, this vintage necklace later, but I wore it for the video. That's how sensitive I am, and also from this ring. And according to the lady, everything is brass and gold plated, which should not bother me. In fact, the chain, not this chain, but the chain from the necklace I bought last year didn't bug me. Not 5 minutes after putting these in, my ears, my lobes turned bright red and were itchy. So I'm gonna be emailing them and asking them why these are $80, but they couldn't care to use hypoallergenic posts, which you'd think the lady would have told me that they're not, considering we had a whole conversation about how their chains actually really didn't bother me and I'm super sensitive. So she probably just didn't know, but that's a no from me. Kind of a disappointment. I could change the posts out because I do have hypoallergenic ones from my jewelry making, my DIY stuff. It just sucks that I paid so much and I was expecting it to be like gold-plated brass. And it's obviously not, because I'm not sensitive to brass or gold. So that's, I believe, everything that we got at the Renaissance Fair. Chances are I'm forgetting something because I always am. However, that is not all, because like I said, I also went to a thrift store while I was there. Now, full disclosure, the thrift store was Goodwill, which is not everyone's favorite for reasons, and if you don't know, Google it. But we had like a little bit of time before a photo shoot and we're like, let's just pop in. And boy howdy, was that the best Goodwill I've ever been in, and was I really regretting not having any suitcase room and only like 20 minutes to shop, because it was so organized, it was so clean, everyone was so friendly. In fact, I'll tell you guys a story about one of the things I bought, so let's start. First thing, I got this Whimsigoth sun candle holder. And I was actually wearing like a Whimsigoth dress at the no, it was a skirt at the time. So I manifested it. But the story about this is this had a different glass thing in it and it was chipped. And as I was making note of that, a lady who is looking at this before me was like, oh yeah, I noticed that. Also, by the way, make sure you know that each thing is a separate price. But also there's more over here. And so there were more of the holders that went in there, but the one that was in there didn't really fit right. And she's like, oh, but there's more over here and these fit better. Also, the little candles are separate price because there was a little candle in here. So anyway, my point is she was just really nice and helped me out with this. And I actually really liked this glass better than the one that was in there, and it wasn't chipped. And each of these were $1.99, which for this little thing is kind of like $1.99 for this, but for this, it's worth it. So together, it was like $4, so I'm not complaining. And then next, I got this. Is this an iris? I'm not a botanist. It's a little sun catcher, and this was also $1.99. Now this was broken off, but they taped it to it so that I could fix it, and I super glued it together. And now I need to find a little window to stick it in because it is so pretty and I love it. Very whimsical. I always love watching people make these on TikTok, like the glass thingies. Again, there was so much cool stuff. They also had really good furniture, a lot of really good decor and dishes, and I was just like, I wish I lived here. So I did manage to get these, which was a good happy medium, because all the wall plaques and wall thingies were really cool, and I wish I filmed when I was in there, but again, we were in a rush. These were $3.99 each, which is not the best price, but also not the worst price. I've seen worse. And then I did pick up a couple clothing pieces. They don't really fit me. Well, one of them definitely doesn't. But firstly, we have this purple, almost like a tie-dye print, 90s mesh skirt. And I know it's 90s because look at that label, baby. And it is stretchy. It kind of cups the bum a bit. Next, I really do love tennis skirts, specifically plaid tennis skirts. And unfortunately, I am a dum-dum and I didn't look at the size. There was no fitting room. Plus, I don't really try stuff on anyways. And it's a Wild Fable extra small, which I know is too small on me. So this will be gifted to someone. I have someone in mind already. Lastly, let's get into the things I picked up before we went, because these are bangers. So first, we have this, you can't really see it, hold on, this jacket thing. Let me see if I can zip it up first, because it's just not translating on the screen. So this little blousey jacket thing, and I'm calling it a jacket because it has like a hoodie style zipper on it, which is an odd choice, but I love the ruffly details. I love the like metallic details. It very much reminds me of a print that I saw on a dress from, I believe the brand is Disturbia, which I've been obsessing over, but I can't afford. And I reached out to them like, hey, want to collab because I'm broke after all this traveling. After all this traveling, like a few days of travel. You know, sometimes you just find dupes or things inspired by the things you want at the thrift store and you make do with that. And we have this kind of asymmetrical front exposed hem. I believe the color would be considered teal lace mesh shirt. That is a lot of adjectives. Yikes, I struggled through that. Thank God for editing. Again, didn't try this on. By the grace of thrift store gods, it fit, and I think it'd be really versatile. The next two items are a duo. I have chosen they are a duo. I've already worn this, which if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen me wear this with a Halara skirt, which will be part of a review. I'm like testing Halara whimsical workout clothes right now. So I wore this with a skirt to Fanexpo to kind of like somewhat cosplay a woodland fairy. I intend on wearing it with this gold kind of acid wash tie-dye-esque midi skirt. I absolutely love these together. It's giving like Hobbit core colors, but the vibe is giving whimsigoth. I like the woodland elf mixed with the vampy baddie, if that makes sense. And I know I'm gonna get people asking what the heck I'm wearing, so I'm gonna show you guys. So this is the outfit of the day. Thrifted top. This skirt, which you can't really see, is from Ross. Corset was made specifically for me by Coastal Muse AU. She made a corset for me before, the Cicely Mary Barker fairy corset. This is one of two corsets she sent me. I will be styling the other one pretty soon once I have time and once I have the spoons. But a lot is happening in the next couple weeks, and thus concludes this kind of cumulative, hey, I said the word on the first try, haul video after fair. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give this video a like, and also comment down below what your favorite item is that I either thrifted or that I got from either the fair or from Fanexpo. Also let me know, have you ever played Neopets? Do you still play Neopets? Have you even ever heard of Neopets? I'm curious. It was a big part of my childhood, so I'm very nostalgic toward it. Thank you guys so much. Stay cool if it's summer for you, and if it's not summer, then lucky. All my Australian and New Zealand subscribers, I'm very jealous right now because it is so hot. I had to turn off my AC for this. It's very loud. But yes, I love you guys very much, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.